In India today, people are aggressively reducing their fat consumption, either because they want to lose some weight or reduce their abdominal obesity or want their good facial architecture and lose puffiness on the face. For some people, they're in constant fear thinking fats might clog their arteries and give them a heart attack. And this has been a common myth for so many years. People keep changing cooking oils. Some days they hear sunflower oil is bad for health, or sometimes they hear olive oil is better, or somebody else says ghee is healthier. With all this information, people are more confused than ever, and that might lead to unhealthy eating behaviors. People are avoiding the fats that the body desperately needs, and others are overeating the wrong fats. And many are missing the bigger problem entirely. Fats are very essential for biological survival. If you are aggressively cutting down on fats just to look lean, that means you're disrupting your hormones, spoiling your metabolism, reducing your energy systems, spoiling your enzyme production, and also slowing down your brain function. For men especially, testosterone production largely depends on the kind of fats they eat and also the amount of cholesterol they have. For women, restricting fat intake might result in hormone disruption, their skin, hair, and nail health will be damaged, and also it can disrupt their menstrual cycles. So in this video, I'll explain what fats exactly do inside the body, why some fats support your health and other fats might destroy your health, and how to choose fats intelligently. I constantly get to hear this. People want to reduce their overall calorie intake and they know that most of the calories come from fats and they try to avoid fats for a long time. But fats are very essential to the body. It is important for their brain health, for their nervous system, and also for the vitamins they eat and also for the hormones. For example, 60% of your brain is made up of fat cells. That means fat is very crucial for the body. And also when we are sitting silently, our body is dependent on something called fat oxidation. That means fats provide us with the energy that we need, but carbohydrates provide with instant energy, but fats will produce us more constant energy over a period of time. And also the fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, K are dependent on the healthier fats that we consume. No matter how many supplements you take, without dietary fat, these supplements do not get absorbed. And also, for our nervous system to function effectively and also for that electrical conduction to happen properly, our nervous system or the nerves are protected by a sheath called myelin, and that myelin will be healthier only if we eat adequate dietary fat. And in both men and women, hormone production, especially testosterone production in men and the estrogen and progesterone production in women, are heavily dependent on the dietary fats that we consume. I often see this in men especially. They want to lose weight, so they cut down on the calories. Mostly they try to cut down on the fats that they eat so that the number of calories are very low. So for these men who are on very low calorie diets for too long and restricted fat consumption for too long, they lose libido, their recovery drops, their performance in the gym drops, their levels of testosterone drops. So instead of losing weight, they might end up losing their muscle and gain fat. So the testosterone, which helps to keep the fat low and the muscle high in a body, men's body, will start to function opposite when you start restricting your fat for too long, and that declines the testosterone levels. Female body is very sensitive to amount of energy that we get from the food that we eat. If you're restricting fat for too long in your diet, it's going to affect your skin, hair, nail health. Not just that, it's going to disrupt your menstrual cycles, the regularity, and also the energy that we have. For example, women especially who have come to me, who have been on low calorie diets especially, they depend a lot on just salads, which is devoid of both fats as well and protein as well, suffer with irregularities in the menstrual cycles. So in an attempt to lose weight, they start to disrupt the menstrual cycles, and henceforth their mood, their sexual health, their skin, hair and nails. If the fats are so important, why did people start fearing fat? Firstly, not all fats are created equal. We have saturated fats like ghee or even groundnut oil, and we have unsaturated fats like mustard oil or olive oil. Usually, saturated fats have got stable structures. That means they are very resistant to any kind of heat or cooking habits. But unsaturated fats are very fragile towards heat and cooking and can change the structure of the molecule as such. The problem that we need to discuss is how are we using the oils, at what temperatures, what kind of cooking makes all the difference. And not just that, the body composition is dependent on the stress that we have, movement, exercise, sleep, and also the meal composition. People generally have this myth or misnomer that when they consume fat, they gain weight and they develop belly fat. That comes from the myth that fat carry high calories. That is true. Fat contains high calories. But now, in today's time, we know not all calories are created equal and not all types of fats are bad. We have some healthier kinds of fats as well, like unsaturated fats like MUFA and PUFA. Some things like avocado oil or even olive oil, mustard oil, these are all unsaturated fats. And there are saturated fats on the other side like ghee or even groundnut oil. Saturated fats for too long have been thought to be very dangerous for health, or it causes heart attack. But that is not a complete story. Saturated fats, when consumed in moderation and with a good balance with fiber and protein, it doesn't create a major problem. Today we understand that body composition is largely dependent on the toxin exposure, the protein intake, the fiber intake, the stress, the movement, exercise, and also your sleep architecture. So fats is not equal to belly fat. Consuming fat is in fact very important for you to have stable energy, good hair, skin and nails, and also good productivity and good hormone levels. What changed in India and why India is today carrying a burden for chronic lifestyle diseases? It is because of the way we changed our cooking oils. Most of the time our grandparents used ghee or even cold pressed oils like mustard oil or groundnut oil. But today, because of the industrialization and easy availability of oils to every household, most of the time these oils are refined. So when the oils are extra refined or ultra refined, the composition of the oil changes and we end up eating more omega-6 seed oils. So when the omega-6 is higher than the omega-3 consumption, we end up having oxidative stress, high inflammation, higher risk of diseases, all of that. But for our cell membranes to be happy, for our nervous system to conduct the information well, for our metabolism to be stable, for healthy hormones, we need good consumption of oils, especially cold pressed, and also in good balance of omega-6 and omega-3. So today's problem is large consumption of omega-6 predominant oils, ultra refined oils, oxidized oils, and also exposure to other things and not just oils alone. After the industrial oil production has expanded, the refined oil production has increased and people have more access to refined oils at a cheaper prices. So that ends up with consumption of more oxidized oils and more consumption of omega-6 rich oils, and this ends up with people having higher LDL levels. Now, LDL has a different problem altogether. If you have large fluffy LDLs, it is generally healthy for you. But most of the people in India today who consume refined oils end up having a large amount of LDL particles, which are small sized particles, and that causes the increased burden of cardiovascular diseases, higher oxidative stress, and henceforth the cardiac events. What is the bigger problem that we are facing today with industrial production of seed oils? So after the industrial expansion in oil production happened, the steps of industrialization of oil production have been going through multiple steps like bleaching, chemical extraction, deodorization, and even production of hydrogenated fats. So the chemical structure of oil itself is changing, and most probably they end up producing something called trans fat. Trans fats are usually unstable fats, and studies have shown that trans fats cause inflammation in the body. Trans fats increases the risk of cardiovascular diseases and damages the metabolic health. And not just that, industries are also producing partially hydrogenated oils, and these are also increasing the risk of metabolic diseases. So the problem is the extra processing, ultra processing of the refined oils that is happening in the industries today. And not just that, people sometimes could be eating healthier foods which are cooked at home using healthy oils and cold pressed oils, but they end up also eating ultra refined packaged foods which have refined carbs, refined fats which are high in trans fats, and also hydrogenated fats, and also additive sugars and sugar additives. So the problem here is not eliminating the ultra processed oils, ultra processed carbs, and also sugar additives and chemicals which look like and feel like fats in the body. Now we know what fats are healthier and what are unhealthier, what are stable and what are not. Let's utilize this information. If you are cooking at home and these methods involve heating at higher temperatures, then you need to be using stable oils which have stable bonds, for example, ghee or even coconut oil or mustard oil, because these are saturated fats. They have stable chemical bonds and they do not break down or they do not get oxidized. But if you are using low cooking methods or cooking at low temperatures, you might as well use other cold pressed oils like black sesame seed oil, or even you can include use of extra virgin olive oil or a flaxseed oil or walnut oil, depending on the need, availability and sustainability issues. Today, the problem that we are facing with Indian vegetarian diets are their consumption of omega-3 is very less. Now, how do we solve for that? They should use other omega-3 rich foods in their diet like walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, but their amount of ALA coming from these vegetarian foods cannot completely convert itself to EPA and DHA. So in those scenarios, they might have to consume extra supplementation which contains EPA and DHA so that your cell membranes are healthier, your brain function is healthy, and you have good cognitive function and good hormones. Not just that, omega-3 is also very important for keeping your body low in inflammation and also allowing your body to recover better from the workouts and allows you to perform very well. So the problem is not about cholesterol. The problem is oxidization of the cholesterol, and also the problem is when these fats get itself attached to the inner layer of the arteries. That can happen when there is inflammation or when there is oxidization. Since fat cannot freely move in the blood, usually the cholesterol is packaged inside the vehicles called lipoproteins. These are nothing but HDL, LDL. Usually HDL, LDL by itself do not cause a disease or do not cause a damage to cardiac arteries. They cause a damage when there is oxidization or when there is high sugars and there is good environment for the body to cause damage. So prevent yourself from causing oxidative stress, oxidative damage or inflammation or high sugars. So if you can keep your sugars very sustainable and your glycemic variability is normal, you're not causing frequent spikes in your blood sugars, it will protect you. And if you're eliminating refined oils, refined sugars and refined carbohydrates from your diet, it will protect you. So instead of replacing the dietary fat or healthier fat with other things, try to keep your sugar stable. Try to avoid ultra refined foods, try to avoid ultra refined oils, use seed oils in moderation as much as possible, use stable oils for high temperature cooking, and exercise regularly, watch out for your sleep and have good stress management techniques. So people often ask me, we are very used to cooking Indian foods in seed oils. So how do we ideally rotate these oils? So let's keep it very practical. We can always rotate cooking oils, especially cold pressed oils. Let's choose through 3 important cooking oils which are reasonably healthier. One is black sesame oil, other one is mustard oil and groundnut oil. These 3 can be used in rotation, and we can also rotate it with ghee and coconut oil. So in the first 3 months, 60% of the times if you are using sesame, use 20% of the times ghee for cooking and other 20% with coconut oil. In the second month, use 60% of the times mustard oil, other 20% ghee and other 20% coconut. In third month, you can use 60% groundnut and 20% ghee and 20% coconut oil. Rotating your oils this way will give you a good balance of healthier oils, oils that are rich in MUFA and PUFA. And according to your availability, you can always add on extra virgin olive oil, but make sure you're not heating, you're only using it in low flame environments and low heating cooking methods. Always use on with tossing, dressing over the salads, etc. These are the few common mistakes you should avoid around cooking oils. Number 1 is reheating the cooking oil. The most common problem with reheating the oils is it will cause something called lipid peroxidation, oxidizes the lipids in the oils and also aldehydes. All of these will cause something called oxidative stress in the body and damages the lining of the blood vessels, especially the heart blood vessels, and might end up causing heart related diseases. And number 2, high consumption of trans fats or hydrogenated fats should be avoided. Same reason is trans fats do not act the same way as a dietary fats like almonds or walnuts in the body. These trans fats spoil the cell membrane inside the body and cause very unstable membranes and can increase the risk of something called atherosclerosis and can increase the risk of blood pressure as well. Avoid using restaurant commercial oils. In restaurants, usually the oils are kept at very high temperatures. Because of the high temperatures, the oil undergoes something called polymerization or the breakdown, and because of this breakdown of the fats in those oils, it can end up producing more inflammatory compounds, and that can lead to systemic inflammation in the body, and that can cause all kinds of lifestyle diseases. And avoid consumption of vanaspati. Vanaspati is nothing but an industrialized modified fat. So basically it contains high trans fats. These trans fats change our carrier vehicles. They increase the number of LDL particles in the body and decrease the HDL in the body. That can end up with increased risk of atherosclerosis and increased risk of accelerated aging and causing all age-related diseases. Thank you for watching these videos. If you want to listen to more health informative videos, please don't forget to subscribe to PMX Health channel and share with your family and friends.